give them the happy pill. I give them SSRIs. Why? Because I believed big pharma propaganda. I believed my specialty. I believed that the FDA would protect me against unsafe drugs. I thought I was doing good to my patients, and I was passing out SSRIs until I saw what happened to my son in 2007. At that point, I became very aware of how dangerous these drugs are. I'm asking you to join me to fight for our veterans that have given everything to give us our freedom. I'm asking you to join my son Mark in protest against the psychiatrists that are killing 22 patients per day. I'm asking President Trump and RFK Jr. to step in and do something to stop this travesty. This has got to stop. Why would a psychiatrist give a veteran that's suicidal medications that are known to increase suicide by 300%? Why would they do that? I'll tell you why. Psychiatrists have become nothing more than drug dealers.
We have a famous Danish doctor in Denmark, Peter Götzke. He has also written a book about this kind of drug business have become a mafia business within their medical business. So yeah, it has to be stopped, and I would personally like to stop it one day. But it's also Trump is in a good position to stop it, and I rely on Trump doing it, and that is also one of the reasons why we should let Trump continue to be president of United States, because he is not cooperating with World Health Organization, and this is one of the reasons why. Okay, and the vaccination programs also have to be stopped. There are other ways to educate the people. It's much better than vaccinate them, educate them in how to eat, and give them opportunity to have more money to buy the food that they need. The prices of food is also too high in my country, and that's one of the reasons why I live in Africa. The food prices are too high. People is getting sick of malnutrition. They are not getting mentally sick because it's unable to cure them. It's because these doctors of psychiatry, they use artificial medicine, and the medicine is making people more sick than they are. It's not healing their problems, and it's just one big mafia business, and it's very, very sad to experience. It's also sad to experience what is going on inside these hospitals, how they mistreat the patients, how they make them sick inside. They take completely healthy people and torture them with small problems, and then they torture them inside that hospital. Small problems that could easily be resolved with a nutritious food, with nutritious better food and natural medicine. There are many ways to cure mental disease, but these guys have somehow succeeded in passing laws that criminalize any other successful treatment, and that is very wrong, I believe.
How do I know that? I used to be a drug dealer. When patients came to the emergency...
This is what we need. We need no more of these psychiatrists to admit what they have been part of. And it's very painful to admit it, because they have been loyal to the system. They have taken a long education, and they earn good money from this business. So, but it's very very cowardly to continue work as in the psychiatric business. As soon as you have discovered the truth, you should start and to give your patient another kind of treatment. And this actually the psychiatrist's responsibility also to make to tell the truth, and then to make people's counsel together with their lawyers that are very aware of what's going on in the court system of injustice. So yeah, those two groups have to come together and dare to speak the truth, and then unite in peace, and bring all their truths to the surface. My country has become so corrupt with this psychiatry going on. Their court system is corrupt. Their mental institutions are corrupt. Everything is corrupt about Denmark. It's not the happiest country in the world because we don't have freedom of speech, and everybody is scared of speaking the truth, and all real wisdom is being suppressed, and it's just terrible. And it's nothing to do with white man being evil. It has everything to do with those shadow governments that is making it impossible for us to know our own worth. They are manipulating with mankind. But when all come to all, it's the people's own responsibility to wake up to the truth and unite. And I have said it for many years now, that they need to gather around people's council. And they don't want to gather around me, but then they just have to have me here, sitting here, guiding them. And that is hopefully what's going on in this world, that people is actually listening to my advices, and then they act upon it. And I have to take that responsibility on me to play that role, because even though that I don't see that I have anybody to support me, maybe they simply don't dare to support me. Maybe they feel that when I'm more invisible in society, then I'm more protected. I'm in the opposite opinion, but as long as I just mind my business and I just post my opinions online, then the Africans, they will only start to look up to me. They need to get some true speech about their behavior and how they participate in this world. And what's going on, all the hatred is just it's just like powerlessness, right? They feel powerless, and when people feel powerless, then they want revenge. But they need to heal, but not with the psychiatric medicine, with natural medicine.
Room depressed, I would give them the happy pill. I'd give them SSRIs. Why? Because I believed big pharma propaganda. I believed my specialty. I believed that...
No. And he knew what he was doing, but now he want to get to be unpunished in future. So that is what he's saying, that he was like looking up to authorities and just doing what they said and relying on them. All these psychiatrists, they are very aware of what they're doing, and most of them, I think, are very evil. and they just need to heal. Those are actually the ones who need the treatment themselves. It's not common. People don't need it. They don't just need friends, or they need self-confidence, or they need education in what their symptoms are really about, and they need spiritual education. So many of their symptoms can be used as tools to cure themselves, but they don't know, and nobody is teaching them.
The FDA would protect me against unsafe drugs. I thought I was doing good to my patients, and I was passing out SSRIs until I saw what happened to my son in 2007. At that point, I became very aware.
The reason why that I don't talk much about Kamala is because I don't trust black people, and I don't trust her politic, because she say something and then I'm pretty sure that she cannot live up to it. But Trump is in a position where he make things happen. He make things happen, and Pamela Harris is part of this same politic as Biden, right? As far as I know. Apologize if they are not the same party, but for me it looks like the same party, and I just can't take this Biden seriously. Is he a robot, or is he a human being? Is he like totally lost? He cannot remember anything of anything, or like he's just a parody of himself. Who can use such a person as president? Kamala Harris, I know almost nothing about her, and my article have no time to focus on her, because my article already know who she is. Okay, I'm working on pure intuition here, and I've always done that since I was a small girl. I really don't waste my time with any nonsense, and the same with Obama. I don't spend my time with Obama, and it's not because they are black, but of course it's part also of my identity nowadays, that I don't trust the black people anymore. I've been trusting them. Trust me, I've been trusting them. And one of the reasons why I came to Africa is that I love African people, and I will always love them, but I will not trust them anymore, and especially not in politics. But I'm pretty sure that Kamala and Obama, they are part of the Illuminati, and I don't want to have anything to do with the Illuminati, because of the Bohemian Groove parties and the tradition of drinking blood in order to keep your youthful appearance. So yeah, I don't support those people, and I wonder why Samir is so fond of Camilla, but she is taking over the job from the former president, Magufuli, and Magufuli was very intelligent, and also one of the reasons why I went to this country. I like his policy, and Samir, in all respect for Samir, she does the job in a little different way, but I trust her. I trust her very much. But I think that it's very necessary for this country of Tanzania to continue have a female president. It would be a catastrophe if the Kenyan people succeeded in starting a war, and it will also affect my life, right? Because I have been investing in starting a home here in Tanzania, and my future is here. Hopefully, I love Pangani so much, and I love my life, and I don't want to start from zero, from scratch again in another country. I can only stay for the next 17 years. Then I need to go back to my home country, because I have something to do there after 17 years. But in regard to all this psychopharma, it is slowly developing in Zanzibar, but it's not really here on the mainland. And I don't know if Samir is aware of it, but it's a very corrupt industry, and we really don't want it to come to this country and take over this country, because that is what they're actually doing. They're taking over the country. They are in big power positions, these psychiatrists, because they can misuse their power to tell people that they don't want to have any power in society, that they're mental sick, and then they can favorize other people with different kinds of opinions and politics, favorize them, and avoid to medicate them, right? There are many of those politics in America that needs medications. But I'm not fond of artificial medicine, so I would never ever give anybody on my command artificial medicine. I will find other ways to cure them. And I'm sure everybody can be cured. It's nonsense to believe in anything else than that Mother Nature can cure everybody, no matter how evil they can have become in their hearts, and how lost they feel, and how desperate they feel, and how powerless they feel. Of course, they can be healed, and there are so much suppressed wisdom in our society, and it's being suppressed also by these psychiatrists, because if we know how to cure cancer, if we know how to cure mental diseases, if we know to cure HIV and so forth, if we know how to cure corona, and understand what viruses is really about, then if we start to know all these things, and that wisdom comes to surface and is being commonly accepted, then it's a dangerous thing for the psychiatric world, because they is mainly earning their money from insecure people who don't have much self-worth, who don't know how to read their own symptoms and use their own symptoms as a tool to cure themselves. And so people who don't have much self-confidence can easily end up such places, and get hypnotized of what these psychiatrists are telling them, that is the truth. This is the truth. This is the way a human being is supposed to feel. This is the way the human being is supposed to think. And you need medicine for this kind of behavior. You need medicine for this kind of thinking or this kind of feeling. So it's a kind of psychiatric police. Like, it's a police of our feelings, a police of our thoughts. And so there should be such thing, mental police, but not in the way that it is expressed nowadays, and it's suppressing real good cures out there, and people are scared also of opening clinics, that healthcare centers that is curing mental disease, because these psychiatric systems in our world has become so powerful. But it doesn't change that we need to shut it down completely. It doesn't change the truth that we are wrong pathway. It doesn't change the truth that we become more mental sick of taking these drugs, and it doesn't um, 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 change the fact that there is a lot of misuse of power going on within this psychiatric world. So I think that with Trump it will also, people will start to be more aware of it, and if they are not being more aware of it, then they will be somehow imprisoned and hospitalize themselves, because everybody with a healthy brain and a healthy heart knows what's going on, okay? And it just has to be stopped. It's not a good pathway, and it's not making us more human. In contrary, it's adding to the dehumanizing process
of how dangerous these drugs are. I'm asking you to join me to fight for our veterans that have given everything to give us our freedom. I'm asking you to join my son Mark in protest against the psychiatrists that are killing.
But it's very, very, very brave.
22 patients per day.
And actually, it's what all the psychiatrists ought to do. Many of them is also admitting it, but they are admitting it like, and then at the same time not admitting it, and they're just laughing and say, "I thought you knew that. I thought you knew that. All these diagnoses are just fake. They are. It's a fake science, and period, and it can't be more fake than that. So we just have to explain everything in this world." With jealousy and with sexuality. That's all. Everything in this world can be explained with jealousy and sexuality. Jealous of rich people, jealous of successful people, jealous of kind people. Jealousy is the root of many diseases, okay? And then sexuality, being suppressed in different kinds of ways by men, suppressing female sexuality, and when our understanding of sexuality is just turned upside down, then it creates a lot of confusion, and it results in a lot of mental diseases, and we can't think like humans anymore because our sexuality is not understood well. But I will talk more about these things in other videos. Now I want to turn this video off because I don't believe that I have much storage on my phone left.